Good morning.
Good morning. Beginning with the cards today, I'm going to share. Oops. To remind us that we just last time did the 5 of coins, and to show kind of the similarities between these two cards and the 5 of cups. I thought I'd bring them both up on the screen. In some ways, each of them have their back turned to various pieces. In the 5 of coins, the sense of being more internalized with the loss, and I talked about that last time, as a certain part of us feels like, poor me, I've been victimized, what's wrong? And in the same way, that's what's happening in the 5 of cups. The woman in the card is focused on the 3 cups that are broken in front of her and doesn't even realize there are 2 cups that are not broken. And in the case of the 5 of coins, the person is not noticing that there's actually this place, these doors opening to something much larger behind the figure. So there's that sense of the interiority, the focus on something being wrong inside. And that wrongness really makes it hard to then see the world because of our such an inner focus. So in the 5 of cups, I'd say that a lot of the times the reason why the cups representing the water and the feelings and so much of what happens in the grief process is that we get caught in the ways that we can't let go. And particularly it can be around shame, something that we haven't, that we feel like was our fault, or we shouldn't have said, or we shouldn't have done. And so it's like that piece of that we didn't make it better. And that can become really, it can make it so hard to then grieve the loss and say goodbye.
Yeah, it looks like in both these cards, especially in the 5 of cups, it looks like she's grieving and mourning, but it's really hard to just drop into the heart to feel the grief. Usually that shame, the guilt, the blaming of self or others, it blocks the process. So she's not really, and also the mind has that tendency to go to what's wrong and not notice what's right. And when I looked at those 2 cups that are still intact, not only are they there, there's light sparkling out of them. Just like there's the doorway with the hidden treasure waiting to be known. In the 5 of coins and the 5 of cups, that's almost like I could drink ambrosia. There's that. So easy when something breaks, not to realize what we have, or when we're in the grief, not to recognize. So we don't want to push away the grief. We want to be able to grieve, but then also to notice what's still
there,
beautiful, what's still here. Yeah.
So as we begin today, we're going to notice what's here. We're going to start with, where is my body? What's happening in this present moment? So letting yourself come into that wonderful earth breath of breathing in and out through the nose. Deep, rich, full breaths in, deep, rich, full breaths out. And we're going to just explore a little bit, like, where is my connection to my feet and my foot, my toes, and the bottom of my foot, the top. Just notice where it's at today. Does it feel stiff? Is it easy to move? Those feet, how are they connected to the floor? Do they like to push today? Do they feel really light? So just really be aware as you're breathing. Where are my feet today? Because that's a lot of the problem with grief, is we can't really come into the moment of where we are. So I happen to have 2 big, huge bunions, and so I'm just really aware of my bunions today, and this is how my feet are. And so just taking in your feet, how they are today, breathing into them. And then we'll take one last big breath in, really invigorating them with the energy of the moment. And exhaling into, this is where my feet are right now. And we're going to do that now with our legs, with our shins and our calves and our knees. And all the way up into the thighs, so we can move and just feel, what is this leg like today? How does it feel? Does it feel kind of crunchy, or does it feel really flexible, movable? Just noticing, not trying to judge or trying to make it different, but just, where is it? Where am I? How do my knees feel? How do my lower legs, upper legs?
If the mental judge comes in, asking him, her to step aside.
Yeah, because everything's okay. We're just looking, we're observing, we're trying to get a sense of, oh, maybe we have some pain in our leg today. Just recognizing that. Doing whatever feels good to come into your legs. Yeah, maybe they need to be stretched out behind or to the side. So feel what feels right for your legs. And then as you're ready, whenever it feels right, you take that last big breath in, really celebrating, bringing all the energy into your legs and letting go into the moment. This is the way it is right now. And bringing that breath then up into your hips, your tailbone, your genitals, pelvic floor muscles, letting yourself really explore that area. You can let it go from side to side, front and back, stretching it, wiggling it. You can let yourself turn it around in circles. Just seeing, where are my hips at today? Hips, genitals, coccyx, pelvic floor. Where is that amazingly diverse and rich area that has so much sensations in it? So many ways it helps us to move. Where is it at today? If there's pain, just breathing into the pain, not having to change it. If there's inflexibility, just breathing into that. Letting all those parts know they can be there, don't have to go away. And just being with. And when you're ready, take that nice big breath into the hips, really invigorating it with energy, giving thanks for it. And letting go into really just the way, the condition now. And then breathing into the solar plexus, the belly right above it. And beginning to really let yourself move that solar plexus belly, everything like below your ribs. You can wiggle it around, turn it around in circles, make it go forward, backwards, to the sides. Just really enjoying finding out how are you feeling today? All those organs inside, all those muscles, all the digestive organs. blood vessels. And again, you're just doing it to find out, where are you? Where am I? And taking one big last breath again to invigorate that area, giving it thanks. And letting go into where it is right now. And letting the breath come up into the ribs, the heart, the lungs, the upper back, the scapula area. So feeling into that whole area. You can use your shoulders to help feel into the scapular area, and you can let yourself stretch the sides. Just breathing, deep, rich, full breaths in, deep, rich, full breaths out to see, where am I today? Stretching that upper back, the upper chest. How does my heart feel? How are my lungs? Is it easy to take a big breath? Is it hard? And then as you're ready, taking that last big deep breath in to really invigorate that area, giving it thanks. And exhaling to say, this is where I am. And letting the breath now take you into the shoulders and the elbows, the upper arms, the lower arms, the hands, the wrists, the fingers. So many pieces to these amazing appendages that we have. And just really letting yourself feel, stretching your shoulders. You can stretch them up, you can pull them down, you can let your arms go forward, backwards, you can massage them. Stretching out the fingers. There's so many ways you can do it. Letting the elbows move. Breathing deep, rich, full breaths. Into the arms, into the shoulders, into the hands. Can reach. Shake them out too. And just noticing where they are right now. Take a deep breath in and celebrating them, letting them receive all the energy. And letting go into this is where I am right now. And then taking a breath into your neck and your head. And letting yourself begin to stretch and find out, how's your neck today? Is it sore? Does it feel flexible? What's that back of the head feel like, where right at the base of the skull? All the nerves coming in, all of the spine. Your face, your scalp. Really playing with this area just to get to know, where is it at today? helps to feel your face when you make noises and make faces. And breathing in again, really letting yourself feel, where am I today? Giving thanks for that neck, for the head. And breathing out, and this is where I am. And one more big breath into the whole body. Actually, we'll do a couple of them. A couple big breaths to just take it. This is where we are today. We might want to be someplace different, but this is just where we are. One more breath like that. And you might notice for a moment if there's any sadness or loss about where your body is at, whether it's just because it's aging or just you notice that you wish you had more flexibility, or wow, I wish that pain wasn't there today. Just noticing any of those things, those ways in which we really notice things have changed. And we just acknowledge that and recognize that there's parts of us that really will focus on what's changed. We're going to extend that out into our whole life as we begin to let ourselves breathe in the water breath in through the nose and out through the mouth through pursed lips. And we're just going to let ourselves begin to feel that fluidity in the body, and the fluidity starting with our feet and our knees, our feet and knees. Just feel that fluidity within them, or the way they don't want to move, but just continue to breathe that beautiful water breath. And feeling the turning, the movement in the foot, in the knee, letting your ankles move, your knees move. And you can put your foot on the floor, and you can let your whole leg also move. One foot can just move while the other foot is stable. And as we're doing this, we're really, again, looking at this fluidity is the capacity to be able to flow with change, to be able to come into the loss and be with it. But parts of our body get stuck, parts of our being, our hearts, we get stuck and want to hold on. So just feel any parts that kind of want to hold on, that don't really want to embrace that fluidity. And feeling that into the hips. We're not trying to get rid of any of those parts. We're just letting them, we're welcoming them in. Welcome in any part that doesn't feel fluid. And let that fluidity, that movement go, that round turning movement go all the way up into the solar plexus, all the way up into our heart area, because we're breathing fully. And up into our shoulders. Our elbows, our wrists, whole bodies, the neck. And let your whole body feel that fluidity and how it really helps to have that big exhale. Breathing in, but really breathing out. Now notice how much you're breathing in and how much you're breathing out. And I'm going to count it, and you can count it to yourself. See if you can count a 4 count in with your breath in, and a 6 count out for your breath out. So you're extending that breath out, letting yourself be fluid and move around, but then on that exhale, really extending it. One more time like that. And then slow it down, and you can put a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. And what I'd like you to do is to begin to feel one of the ways that we hold on. So that's the way that we let go. So when we hold on, I want you to feel that sense of really breathing in, taking a big breath in, and then just kind of holding it for a moment. And then you breathe out, but it just kind of comes out. Not too much. Not too much, just a tiny, tiny bit. Whatever you have to let out, but breathe in and hold it, and then even the exhale is kind of like a collapse. Two more times like that. Just feel the way when you hold on to that inhale, everything tightens, and then you barely let go. And so when you do let go, it's just enough to collapse. So now we're going to breathe in, and we're going to really gently begin to lengthen that exhale again. Just a little bit more. And get that exhale to be the same length as the inhale. And let your body, as you do that, as you let the inhale and the exhale become the same length, begin to find your natural way of swaying. Feel how it calms you down, how it immediately allows you to come more into that equal place. of bringing in energy, seeing the cups that are around you, the light, the way in which you have these beautiful feelings of love, even though you may have many losses in your body, with your friends, jobs, all sorts of different parts of your life, your family, your loved ones. So let's bring a chair up, and I want to finish this part before I hand it over to Rod. So as you're sitting and getting yourself into a comfy place in the chair so that your weight can be given over to the earth, just take a moment to do that, coming back to the inhale through the nose, the exhale through the mouth. We're gonna let ourselves just feel that final emptying, especially of all of the ways that when we have feelings, they often go up into stories in the head. And it's those stories of what we didn't do right or what we could have done better. Why didn't we spend more time with this person? Whatever it happens to be, all those ways that we twist things into not wanting to feel the loss the way it is right now. So we're going to use the Aramaic sounds of sh, blu, klan, sh, blu, klan, sh, blu, klan. Just say that a couple times. Sh, blu, klan, sh, blu, klan, sh, blu, klan. I love it because we don't have any connection to it. So just think of that. Blue Khan, shh, Blue Khan, shh, Blue Khan. So now we're going to take that word inside, the shush, the Blue Khan, and on the exhale, every time we exhale out with our mouth through that air, we're going to let our head and our upper body just kind of release gently into the earth. Anything that we have that we're still holding on to. Breathing in, remembering anything that we don't want, that we don't like, that about a loss. And then on the exhale, shush plu kwan. Any way that we're holding on to something being different and all the feelings around it, and shush blue kwan. And now we get to let our exhale be long as we let go of every little piece. That we're holding inside as something being wrong with us. Shush, blue clown. One more time. And then coming to your heart, you might want to just wash it clean a little bit of all the ways there's anything else that is in the way for you to just let your heart be that open space, asking all those parts to just step aside right now. Shush Bhutan. As we breathe gently into the heart.
So continuing with your breath, a nice, rich, slow, full inhalation. Imagining your chest soft and porous, so your breath just flows in and out of the sacred space of your heart. And nice, slow, rich exhalation, breathing in and out, breathing life force, prana, chi into your heart as you inhale, as you exhale, washing out, releasing, letting go. Just really bringing your attention and your loving awareness to your heart space. Any cells, any parts that are busy or worried, you can invite them to breathe with you or to step aside. Right now, reminding all your cells, nothing to do, nowhere to go. We're just focusing on getting that connection with the sacred space of our hearts. We're all doing that together, supporting each other through space and time. And it's okay if there's things going on. It doesn't have to be perfect. If there are things, floats, worries, parts are there, and you can be aware of your heart at the same time, holding both, that's fine too. But we're noticing most of all, if we can, the sacred space of our hearts and our breath moving in and out. And as you continue to breathe in and out of your heart, just letting you find in your heart that sacred holy space, whether it's a lovely garden, a table of holy wisdom, some place from the past you've been that was nourishing, that was peaceful, that was a place to just be held, to just be. Could have been something from your past, a place you've been or seen. Could be a place you've read about, a place that's come in a dream. And whether you just feel that in your body, whether you see that sacred place, whether you hear the sounds, smell the fragrances, or taste the tastes of this place, just exploring, opening to the sacred space of your heart. And as you do that, just listen to this invocation. We invoke the One whose body is the cosmos of the galaxies and our own bodies, whose mind courses through our thinking, and whose ecstasy arouses our acts of glorification, whose personality is customized as our personalities, whose presence is always here, whose consciousness is focalized as our consciousness, and whose ultimate reality is beyond our mind's reach. So breathing in and out of your heart, just resting in the sacred space of your heart. And as you do that with all love and all respect, calling upon your high self, your inner beloved. Perhaps it's an animal ally, perhaps a wise being, perhaps you see or feel or just get a sense of this presence of your high self, the angel of your being, your inner guide, whatever shape, form, sensory modality, just opening for a time of communion, a time of guidance, a time of dialogue, and just breathing in any blessing, any light, love, nourishment, presence, and breathing back gratitude, thankfulness. As you inhale, breathing in from high self, the blessings, as you breathing back this thankfulness, letting the breath be this infinity loop connecting the two of you. If your mind, some part pulls your attention away, that's fine. You just gently bring it back to your breath and to this loop forming between you and high self. And as we go on with the guided SoulWork meditation, you can always just stay with this if you wish. But otherwise, we open, beloved high self. We ask for any guidance you have on working with this card, the Five of Cups, when things are broken or lost and we're in that place of loss and grief, but we either collapse or we get angry and blame ourselves or others. Just help us. How can we hold? How can we navigate life's inevitable disappointments? How can we hold? We want your guidance on what stops us and how we can hold and just move to this natural flow of this too shall pass, allowing the grief, allowing things to flow through without collapsing or fixating. Help us understand how we can grieve life's disappointments without getting fixated and lost. And you can continue with that, or you can move on just using my direction as a guide. You can move at your own pace, faster or slower. But remembering those images in the card of the woman with the cup smashed and her head down in her head and hands, we invite any selves who feels like that with anything in our lives right now, any loss where all the feelings come up and we either collapse and give up, or we just blame and get angry, like this woman just collapsing and just getting lost in the grief, getting lost in the loss, getting lost. It's like, it's just, oh, it's in that loop. Just like this woman, we invite any parts of us that are like that into the sacred space of our hearts. Just feeling them inside, getting a sense of them, where they are in your body. And the feelings that are coming with them, whether it's worry or shame or guilt or blame, hopelessness, despair. Bitterness. And then seeing if there's an image that comes with this self, a visual image, as well as the kinesthetic and the feeling images. And whatever behavior, it's just this collapse, pacing, pulling our hair, biting our nails. And whatever thoughts or beliefs this one or these selves have. Really noticing how you feel towards these ones. Can you make space, really resting in conscious self? If the ones that push away or judge, asking them to step aside, letting them know that if we can just bring our loving awareness and hold these selves in love and acceptance, that'll support them in holding their grief in love and acceptance. So just inviting them to be held, letting them know we're holding them and their grief. And know that you're being held by high self. And just asking if there's any other way that we can help them navigate these hard times. And we invite them to breathe the breath of unity with high self, with you, just resting in this circle of selves in the sacred space of your heart. And with all love and respect, we call in all those who just rejoice, who have appreciations for our lives right now, calling in a circle of those so that they can just share things that they're enjoying, whether it's physically or emotionally or mentally or energetically, things that they share and that they're appreciating about work, love, play, relationships, creativity. We invite you to just share, to bring those selves, to have gratitude, to have appreciations for our lives. Just spending a few moments to listen to those voices. And we can even say, one thing I appreciate, or tell me something you appreciate. Wait for the responses. And you can feel those ones perhaps wanting to tug back into that collapse, asking them to just step aside to join the others with high self being held in that breath. But right now, we had time for you. We can come back at other times. But right now, we're just asking for the parts to share something they appreciate. And the child self might share, or male or female, or doctor, teacher, or even mental judge may share something that they appreciate. And just really getting a sense of them, these ones that appreciate in your body. Perhaps they create a light, spacious tingling, and the feelings of appreciation, of gratitude. And what they feel like doing when they're in these places of appreciation. They feel like jumping for joy or just relaxing, There's a huge difference between that relaxing surrender and that collapse that we saw in that figure. And what thoughts, what beliefs these ones have who appreciate. And then inviting them into this circle and just being there, you as conscious self with high self supporting you and holding everyone, encompassing all. And then just in the circle, just recognizing, holding all these who are in grief and try to defend from the grief with despair or blame. And all those who are just appreciating, let them all just sense this multitude of selves, of stuck places, of grief, of joy, of appreciation, and of just awareness, and of this larger field of love and light holding us all. It was like they all just glance and notice each other. It's like, wow, there's so much going on here. And there's broken cups and full cups with light effervescing out of them. And you're just floating, allowing all this to float through the sky of your awareness, the sacred space of your heart. And then finally, just appreciating all of us, even with our eyes closed or open, however they are, just feeling our presence of this community of people who come together to do inner work, to support each other, their inner and outer families, just holding, being aware of each other's presence through space, through time, and this Zoom connection, and just through the sacred space of our heart, really appreciating each other. And then we'll just bow with the sacred sound, as we bow down, just really appreciating our inner lives, and then we'll do a second one up, coming back to our rooms and appreciating our outer lives. Taking your time, a minute, to just reflect on your experience this morning, this afternoon, this evening. If there's anything you want to stretch or write down or just sit, but take a moment to just reflect on your journey, just on this theme of what happened, this becoming aware of the broken cups and the whole cups, and how parts of us lose in the grief, parts of us can have gratitude, we can have both. Just reflecting on your journey.